Hello, second and third grade. It's Miss Sublett. By now, I hope you know what it is that I do in our school. I teach you guidance lessons. I teach you how to be a good student. I'm here for you if you have hurt feelings or happy feelings or sad feelings or whatever it may be. Miss Sublett is here to help you. So, the first thing on my list to help everybody with is bullying, a bullying prevention program brought to you by Second Steps, which I know you guys love Second Steps. Um, so, we're going to do our first lesson today, and then we're going to have one more tomorrow. And then you will see me on Fridays in music class, and I'll be teaching in person. But to get all these videos out to everybody, I needed to do a couple video to get this lesson out to everybody. I need to do a couple videos first. So, we have the 3 R's of bullying poster. You have probably remember seeing this poster last year hanging up on the walls and in music class. So, let's refresh your memory about what is a bully, okay? So, when someone isn't being safe and respectful, it is sometimes called bullying. Bullying is when someone keeps being mean over and over on purpose. Notice that I said keeps being mean. And you all know this by now because you learned it last year. This is a refresher for you. When I say keeps being mean, I mean that they're doing it over and over again. Okay. It's not a one time issue. If someone calls you a name, that was a bad choice, but it was not bullying. If someone kicks you, that was a bad choice, but it's not bullying. Okay. This is specifically about bullying. Now, if someone kicks you or hurts you in some way, even if it's just one time, I'm sad about that. Okay. And I want you to feel comfortable enough to let somebody know. All right. But don't call it bullying unless it's truly bullying. Okay. We don't want to put that label on anybody because that's a bad label. To be a bully is a bad label. Okay. So it's not bullying unless it's happening over and over again. Um, so no one wants to be bullied and no one deserves to be bullied. Okay. In our school, we just don't believe in bullying. Okay. So think about what unfair means. Okay. Think about what unfair means. It means not right, it's not fair, and it's unequal. Okay. Power can be age, size, number of students, popularity, status, and so on. Okay. But when somebody is more powerful than the other person that they're making fun of or hurting in some way, that is a true bully situation. Okay. Negative power is when someone uses, shows, or gains power by hurting other people. That's negative power. If you use your popularity or your size or your age to hurt somebody, that's called having negative power. But we all want to have positive power. It's when someone uses, shows, or gains popularity by helping other people. Okay. So think about what the term one sided means. Think about that for a second. What does one sided mean? It's when one person or a group keeps trying to hurt or threaten another. Okay. The other person or group is not trying to hurt anyone back. So it's one sided when you and a group of your friends goes to somebody and starts picking on them for no reason, and that person just wants to be left alone. They just don't, I mean, they weren't hurting you, they weren't bothering you, they don't want to hurt you, they don't want to bother you. That means you and your group of friends are being one sided. Okay. And that's when it can become a bullying situation. Can you think of any examples of bullying that you have seen or know about? And your teacher can pause it here. Now, I don't want you all saying any names. I don't want you saying so and so bullied me last year. That's last year. We're starting a new fresh year. Nobody's a bully. Okay. So your teacher can pause it here if she wants. I want you all to talk about some different types of bullying. Okay, so if you and your class talked about hurting someone's body, and you all know what that means, kicking, pushing, pulling hair, pushing them down. If you all talked about hurting someone's body, that is definitely a physical bullying situation. If you talked about saying hurtful things where you're hurting someone's feelings instead of their body, that's definitely a hurtful or a bullying situation. If you're talking about making fun of them, calling them names, excluding them from a group, I hear this all the time in second and third grade. They wouldn't let me play with them, Miss Sublet. Well, that's sad. I don't want to hear that. We want to play with everybody. We don't want to leave people out because that is bullying. When you start saying, "Don't play with them. I don't want you playing with them." If you play with them, they're not my friend. You're not my friend anymore. That's singling somebody out, and that is definitely a bullying situation. Okay. All right. If you talked about social media bullying, texting, typing on Roblox. Oh my gosh. Last year we had people saying hurtful, terrible things on Roblox. Guys, that is not necessary. Okay? And guess what Miss Sublet does whenever I hear a bullying situation going on at home? I call your mama and I call your daddy and I call your granny or your auntie. Okay? And I tell them that you've been doing this on Roblox and maybe you won't get to play Roblox anymore for a while. I don't know. I'm just saying. Keep it kind on Roblox. Okay? Um Texting, emailing, posting mean things about people on social media. We're not doing none of that. Okay? I know you're just second and third grade, but I know a lot of second and third grade kids who already have social media. I know. So, hurting someone's body, hurting their belongings, maybe you always break their pencils or you push their books off the side or, you cut their shoestrings. I don't know. But, anyways, bullying, physical bullying, okay? When you hurt their feelings and you leave someone out on purpose, that's all bullying. So, bullying is not allowed in our class or in our school, okay? We don't have any tolerance for bullying here. What does tolerance mean, Miss Sublet? Well, tolerance means that we're not going to put up with it at all. The first sign of bullying, the first report, we're going to investigate. And if it was bullying, you're going to get in trouble. Okay? No tolerance. We're not bullying kids. All right? So, what we are going to learn today, which I know this is a refresher for you, is we're going to learn the 3 R's. Recognize, which means I can tell that I'm being bullied or someone else is being bullied. I can recognize that that's happening. We're going to report it to an adult, and then we're going to refuse. We're not going to let that happen. I refuse to let you bully me. We're going to use our kind, respectful voice, our firm voice, and let them know that they are bullying, and we're not going to do that. Okay? All right. So let's move on. We are going to watch some videos and we're going to pick out what R is going on. Okay, we're going to pick it out. Okay, so what was the definition that we learned earlier? Who remembers? Raise your hand. What is this? Is it two-sided or one-sided? Great. If you said one-sided, you're definitely right because Dante, he just wants to be left alone. He just wants to look at his bugs and be left alone. He doesn't like playing sports, and that's okay. Everyone is different. Not everyone likes to play sports. He likes to science kind of stuff. He likes to look at bugs and things like that. And that's okay. So we just learned what one-sided is. Jonah and his friends are using negative power. Okay. Let's move on to part 2. Okay, so if you think Jonah is bullying Dante, I want you to pat your head twice. Very good. It looks like everyone patted their head twice. So, how can we tell he is being bullied? Well, he tries to hit Dante with the ball over and over again. Remember, bullying means it happens over and over. He laughs every day at him. It's an unfair. He's using his negative power to power over Dante. It's a one sided situation and it keeps happening over and over. So, just by those things, we can tell that Dante is definitely being bullied. So, we can recognize the first R that Dante is being bullied. Let's move on to part 3. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it finally looks like Dante has recognized himself that he is being bullied. He's finally recognized that he said, you know what? I think I'm being bullied. Being bullied can change the things you should be able to do, like staying safe or enjoying a hobby. What has changed for Dante? So, what changed? How did he finally start recognizing that he was being bullied? He can't look at his bugs without being hurt, right? And he can't feel safe outside at recess. Those are the two things that changed. He can't enjoy his hobby without being hurt, and he's not safe anymore outside at recess. So that's why he realized, okay, this is a bullying situation. I'm recognizing it. So if Jonah were in your class, would he be following your class rules? I know you and your class have gone over your classroom rules, probably in the first, second, maybe even the third day. So I want your teacher to pause it here and I want you to go over the rules one more time and pick out what rules Jonah is not following in your class. And I'll give you a few minutes. Okay, if you all went over your school rules or your classroom rules, hopefully you have things on there like be kind, be respectful to others, Or maybe there's some other wording on your classroom rules. But, anyways, those are the types of rules that Jonah is breaking by bullying Dante. Okay, he's not being kind and respectful. He is definitely being a bully to him. If Dante feels like the situation is unfair or one sided, tap your head. Do you think Dante has realized that this is unfair for him? Tap your head. Very good. Looks like everyone tapped their head. We can tell that it's one sided because Dante isn't doing anything mean back to Jonah. Dante just wants to be left alone, and Jonah keeps picking on him. So that's how we can tell this is a one sided thing. Also, Jonah is using his negative power because he's bigger. He thinks he's cooler. He plays sports, and he has some other friends to back him up. Dante doesn't have anyone, so we know that Jonah is using his negative power. All right, let's move on. We will go to part 4. Okay, so what R did Dante use? He used the second R. He used the R report. So he recognized that he was being bullied, and now he's reporting to Mr. Martinez. Okay. And Mr. Martinez is telling him, make sure you use your respectful but firm voice. Okay. Because we don't want to come at our bully being a bully ourselves, right? We want to go at them with respect and firm, and we want to refuse to let the bullying continue. If the bullying continues, Mr. Martinez says you need to go to the supervisor at recess and let them know. So let's go to part 5 and see how Dante refuses to be bullied anymore. All right, so take a minute to think about what do you think Jonah, the bully, should do now? What should he do? Give you a couple seconds to think about it. Okay, if you thought, well, Jonah needs to just stop throwing the ball at Dante, leave Dante alone, and probably just needs to go ahead and apologize, then you're right on. Okay, because Jonah needs to realize even though he thought it was funny, or even a couple other people thought it was funny, does not mean that everyone thinks it's funny. We never want to hurt anybody. That's never funny, whether it be hurting their feelings or whether it be physically harming them. We don't want to hurt anybody, and it's never funny to do that. Okay? So let's go on to the last part and see what Jonah decides to do. Hopefully he just decides to apologize and be a good person and realize what he was doing was wrong. All right, so Jonah decides, maybe that was pretty wrong of me. I shouldn't have been doing that. And he decides to apologize, right? So let's go over our three R's again. So, first, Dante realized, he recognized that he was being bullied. I'm being hit every day. He's calling me names every day. They're hitting me with the ball, and I recognize now that I'm being bullied. So then he goes to Mr. Martinez and he reports it. And Mr. Martinez says, I think, try to stick up for yourself the first time, and I'm going to talk with the supervisor on the playground and make sure that you're okay. And just try to stick up for yourself in a respectful way. And then Dante decides to talk to Jonah, and he refused to let the bullying continue. He said, Stop it. You're being a bully to me, and I'm just over here minding my own business. Please leave me alone. This is not okay. And thankfully, Jonah decides he was right and he apologized. And Dante went on looking at his bugs. So that was a good ending. So now we know, okay, these are the things we have to do, the three R's. These posters will be up in the hallway and in the music room. So if you ever forget what you need to do in a bullying situation, they'll be up. This is our first lesson. Next week, I'll send out a video about bystander power. As you could see down here, what is a bystander and what does that mean? So we are going to be done with our bullying intervention after next week. So I expect that everybody be kind to everyone. But if you have a problem, you can always report it. You all have a great day.